Look up the word crazy in the dictionary and you might just find an asterisk beside the definition that says, listen to the Subiquitous podcast featuring Sue Duffield and you'll find out what crazy means. Sue's travelogue journey of unfiltered stories, impossible miracles, and faith-filled fun will be revisited right here. So buckle up and let's get going with this humorous travelogue of an unfiltered saint, Subiquitous.
Welcome to Subiquitous Podcast number 18. I think I need to give myself a hand clap on that. Don't know why exactly, but I think it also is a good encouragement to know that we've gone 18 episodes and haven't given up yet. If anything, we're just getting started. This is a new fall season, although the first day of fall is not considered to be another week or so, but I always think of after Labor Day being the launching of the craziness of fall. And so here we go. We're on this little roller coaster ride to Christmas, and we're going to blink our eyes, and tomorrow will be Christmas Eve. A couple of things on this particular podcast that I want to get off right from the start is I want to thank you, first of all, for joining us every single week on a Tuesday. And, you know, the glories of radio show in the form of podcast is that you can listen to it anytime you want. And that's the blessing of it all. And another thing, too, is that I'm finding that people are actually excited and anticipating what we're going to do. And the funny part is I write out a script and I kind of have an idea where I'm going to go. But when you include Jeff Duffield in the process, you never know where you're going to go with it. But the title of this particular podcast... Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. What I wanted to do before that is thank a couple of people. Nora Clark. Nora has been a friend of ours for, goodness, going back way to the probably the 60s. Her family and my family were friends in Salem, New Jersey for years. And Nora has been such a blessing to us as a friend and supporter. And Nora, we love you, and we thank you so much for giving and paying attention to our podcast and laughing at our jokes when they're not really funny and all those kind of things. But, you know, these are the people that are like our backbone. And I just don't even know how to thank you. During this pandemic time and during this COVID-19, we've had many friends and many family members and many people that we don't even know, truthfully, that have helped us keep going. And one of the ways that you can do that is by just getting on our website, SueDuffield.com. There's several ways that you can help us continue to get the word out. We've reached over 500,000 people with a combination of our podcast and also our Thursday night couch to kitchen concerts. Can you imagine that? Over 500,000 people worldwide. And we're just excited about it. We're just hoping that people are being blessed, and there's a couple new networks that we're on right now as we speak, and it's going out. So the message is there. So my message today, if there is a theme, it would be let it go. You know, Disney made almost $1 billion off of Frozen, the incredible musical, animated film. And the song Let It Go is just made millions and millions of dollars. It's also a great spiritual principle, too. But letting go is not nearly as easy as we think. And many people spend their whole lives living in between that place of joy and peace and love because of what looks like it's a positive scenario. But then there are times you've had to let things go in order to go forward. Raise your hand wherever you're listening. Raise your right hand with me and say, yep, I'm with you, Sue. I understand there have been so many times I've had to let something go before I could even go to the next part of my life. Well, that is for sure. But one thing that I never let go of in 46 years is the wonderful man that I'm married to, Mr. Jeff Duffield. In the other room, he is. I don't see him.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Let it go. Now, somebody said to me, have you guys ever thought about divorce? We said, no, never. Murder a few times, but we've never talked about divorce.
No.
Well, Jeff Duffield.
Yes, Susan.
Yes, I've got a list of a couple of things that I've had to let go in order to proceed into this new phase of living. All right, so here's one.
Okay.
All right, I had to let go of pantyhose. I just had to say I'm done with it.
Yes, you have.
And it's funny because
Even your high tops, as I used to call them.
Jeff calls knee highs. There's nylon knee highs, high tops. The first time he did that, I about fell off the chair. I don't wear high tops. What are you talking about?
I know. I'm saying even those.
You wear those high tops.
And those things are, I'm sorry, to all the nice, wonderful ladies who wore those things.
Yeah.
They just look like the dumbest thing.
Well, you don't wear them with a dress, and we've seen them.
Well,
You don't.
I wouldn't make that 100%.
No, I know.
There are those. Well, anyway.
But if you wear those high tops, as you call them, underneath your slacks, nobody
Or knee
sees them.
highs.
Or
I used
knee
to call
highs.
them knee
That's
highs.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
But pantyhose is at an all-time low. I mean, women just have
literally
given up
or
on this.
sales-wise.
Yeah. Well, when I wear them now, it's way below the fat line.
That's
Yeah, it's like
right.
So yes, it's just not as popular. And we were talking about that the other day. We went to a beautiful wedding of friends of ours in town.
Yes.
And there were some stunning women, and they have these gorgeous dresses on, and
Yes.
they don't wear hose anymore. I mean, with heels, it's just there's nothing. It's like
I guess that's a good thing.
if all your very, very gross veins stay in,
Well,
I guess. I
I
don't know.
guess it just I don't know. It's kind of like when you're going to get dressed up for a guy.
But we're old, see.
I know, but if you're a guy and you're going to get dressed up, with a suit, if you're going to wear a suit, you should put a tie on.
Yeah, but you know what? They're not even wearing socks.
I know.
They're not wearing socks with their tuxes.
Whatever. It's like, and that's
Let it go,
it's
Jeff.
fine. No, I really have. I've let the pantyhose thing go. And you know me as well as anybody that I'm not exactly upset over this sans tie revolution. That
No,
we've gone
I know.
through.
There's a part of me, and then we have friends that
But if you're going to do it,
Right.
If you're going to, anyway.
well, getting dressed up is obviously we had to let go of that. Our
getting
seeker's sensitive
getting dressed up,
scenario.
yes. Right.
Right. Did you know? I read that there were several sports line fashion designers that they say by the time we get to the year 2030 or so, that they're really there's not gonna be the dress up. I mean, it's already happening, but
I was going to say
no
we've
one
reached
dresses
that
up
point.
anymore. I mean,
Well, some do.
I know.
But here's another thing I've had to let go.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
This used to be a joke, but
What?
wearing a black suit.
With brown shoes. I knew
Hello.
you. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes. And I know I did it at my daughter's wedding.
I know you did.
because
It's hip.
That was what my daughter
You
wished
were hip.
for me to do.
That's right.
Well, and then while we're on the subject of men's fashions,
We were? Oh,
well,
okay. That's
we kind of are suits and all, and we'll leave this quickly.
That's okay.
Just
No,
let me
I'm
say
actually
this, and
enjoying
then we'll be
this.
done.
all right.
Of these suits that men wear these days that look
You're sounding old again.
No, they look 3 sizes too small.
Well, they are. There are 3 sizes too small. It's called the spray paint look.
Well, they're achieving it. They just look bad.
I know.
They just look like they got up and they went to the store and bought a suit, and then the guy said, "This is the only one we've got, sir." Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I need a suit, so I'll take that one.
Well, here's the thing. It looks okay, I guess, on the 25-year-old. That's
no.
But it really looks ridiculous on someone who's 65.
Oh,
I'm seriously.
it's very
saying.
serious.
I
Yeah.
know.
No, it does. No, even the 25-year-olds, even if you have the physique to wear them, it doesn't look right.
No.
But now, having said that,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
I didn't think the suits in the early to mid 60s looked right
No.
either, with the high top flood pants and you could see all your socks
with their
and
loafers
ankle.
and white socks.
Well, yeah,
I
thought
kind of like that look.
no, I thought that looked dumb back then.
You're funny.
When I was 10 years old, I thought it
getting
looked dumb.
old.
So no, it has nothing to do with age. I didn't like it when I was 10.
I know.
Anyway, that's just a personal preference, and you received that if you're listening to
I'm
this.
receiving that from you because Jeff Duffield.
And it's totally free.
It's free.
And it's worth about what it cost you. Okay, moving
So
on.
what other parts of men's fashion over the years have you had to let go of? I mean,
don't-
all right. So I'm writing this down. The black suit.
Nehru jackets, I let
Oh,
go.
you left the Nehru jackets.
I had one.
You had one.
I had one in
What
my
color was that?
tan.
Was it tan?
Yeah, the Ravi Shankar look.
Oh, yeah.
And my mother had to talk my father into it. I can remember it to this day.
Oh,
Standing in
your
the
father.
aisle.
I can't believe your father let this happen.
Oh, he had to be convinced.
Your
He had to
mother
be
was
convinced.
kind of like, I loved your mama. I did. I loved her like my own.
Well, she was like, what's the big deal? It's a Nehru jacket. My father thought I should have a suit or sport coat, and I probably should have.
Yeah.
But
But you
and a
shopped
tie.
at that
There's
very
that tie again.
exquisite Bridgeton store called Bruskin's.
Well, that was later. This was in Sears.
I thought you went to. Oh,
No,
okay.
my Nehru jacket came from Sears.
It came
I don't
from
think
Sears?
I don't think Jerry Bruskin carried Nehru jackets. And
That's pretty funny.
most everyone had no idea. Jerry Bruskin, it was a locally owned family
Wonderful Hebrew
clothing
man,
store.
yes.
Yes, and it was he sold very good, high quality clothing, and it was a very
You
nice
were a
store.
spoiled brat.
Well, yeah, I was spoiled, I guess. But I had to go. I had to look good when I went to play somewhere because I was playing for this Dizzy Blonde.
Not just me.
Well,
You were praying for another Dizzy Blonde too. I mean, it wasn't just
I'm
me.
not going to call her Dizzy
I know,
because
she's
she'll come and
wonderful.
get me.
Evie Tornquist.
Yeah, but
So-
anyway.
Okay, but listen, I think as we look and my friend Lynette, who was in town this week, we talked about looking in some of these shops. They're repeating the same clothing that we grew up with in the 70s.
Everything old is new again.
So do you think we might be around long enough to see black shoes with a black tux again?
I'd like to. I'd like to see that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that I own a pair of black shoes. I guess I still
Yeah,
do.
you still have a black shoes. In
Yeah,
fact,
I
I'm
guess-
looking at them right now. I'm in the closet. This is
shows
my
you-
sound booth. I
That
can
shows
see
you
'em right
how
over
long
there.
it's been since I've actually worn them.
And they have dust on them.
dust in the wind.
That's right. All right, another thing that I have to get rid of, that
Okay.
let it go.
I thought you did.
Well, I kind of let go, but it's really, really hard for me the older I get. And
Okay.
I know you're going to say, yep.
Uh-huh.
You know what? One of the hardest things for me to let go of is summer.
Summertime.
It is. It's so hard.
Oh, I didn't. No, that's not a surprise to me about you.
Yeah.
No.
I
Your
mean-
daughter goes
No.
into mourning on the first day of summer.
Yeah, I
and
don't.
doesn't come back out until the 21st of September.
Well, you know what she does? She says she has figured her birthday is August 1st.
That's right.
And once her birthday comes at the end of summer, she says is the end of summer. For crying out loud, we still have 2 months to go. But she thinks...
Especially where we live these days.
Exactly. She thinks that August 1st is the end of summer.
She thinketh wrong, but
And
then,
I'm like,
she's
what
happy
is your
with that.
problem, Annie? I'm like, no, we still have a whole month. My birthday doesn't come until the 13th. We can't let
And
go
there's
of
been
summer.
many of your birthdays when I've sweat my shirt off.
I know.
So
Yeah. So it's hard for me. And I think the older I get, letting go of, and what I had to do this year because of, the travel ban and not being able to be in as many different places that I would have liked to have been, and choices for that matter, I had to let go of going to the beach.
yeah, you did this year.
This is the first year ever in my entire 65 years that I did not see the Atlantic Ocean during the summer.
I don't know about that. There's a couple
I
of
don't
years
know.
when
I don't think so.
we could discuss that.
Well, if
Anyhow,
I didn't see the ocean, I saw the Gulf one
you saw
year.
pictures.
You saw pictures. Oh, we went to the Emerald Coast. That was beautiful.
Okay.
In the Panhandle of Florida.
Yeah, we did that one year.
Okay.
yeah.
But it's hard. And I think I understand now when as people age, they really do have very few things that they love. And so when you have to let something go, it's just a process of the head, man. It's first of all, it's in your head and it's in your heart. And it's like, Now you don't give two flying rips about whether or not you go to the beach or not. And you don't care. You'll just drop me off.
I'm sitting there thinking that, but I thought,
I
I'm
know.
not going to say it.
You'll just go drop me off and then go find a
You know
Wawa
what?
or a Turkey Hill or something and get some
no,
tea.
No, as you well know, you know this, and you should admit this.
Yes.
If you don't, I'll force you to.
Okay.
That I do not mind going to the shore.
Okay.
there's a difference between going to the shore and going to the beach.
I know. You like the amenities. Here's and you can correct me, right?
I like the sights and the sounds and the smells of the shore.
But you have no problem letting go of the sand between your toes.
Oh no!
And you have no problem letting go of sitting on the beach for 8 hours, like I like to do.
That's not a ministry thing.
It is a ministry thing. I'm sitting underneath the umbrella and I'm witnessing to people as they drive by.
You're witnessing to your book or the visor on your helmet or your hat.
And I have to blame my parents for this. They're the ones
Excuse me.
There's the one that put me on the beach when I was, 6 weeks old.
I'm not blaming you for it. I'm just saying that's you.
I know.
However, I like the boardwalk. I like to get down there, and I like
you like the food. You like to get the shrimp
smell.
and the pizza.
Well, yeah, of course.
Never have to let go of that.
I like the ocean sounds. I like to hear the waves and all.
Yeah.
But just
to sit on the beach.
I'll look at the beach.
Nay.
I'll look at the beach. I'll walk past the beach, but I don't want to get on it.
Okay.
It's more effort to walk in it. You get it in your shoes and everything else, and then you got to clean it out and vacuum it. And it's like that's just extra work.
Well, what goes hand in hand with that, though? Here's another thing, though, I had to let go of. That's pretty beach related. I had to let go of riding roller coasters.
Did you have to, or were you forced?
I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I was this insane person that on a dare would do the most difficult, most crazy, heinous looking ride, and never had a problem with it. And now I get up into high places and I go, oh, this isn't good. Mm-hmm. And with
age comes wisdom.
I know, but I'm the one who used to ride roller coasters with my kids.
With age comes wisdom.
With one child. That's right.
With one, yeah.
The one child was like me, and the other child was like you.
Right.
So David and I would scale the highest and would look for the highest roller coasters in the world. In fact, we went to that one in Hershey Park that time was incredibly high, and that one in Cedar Point in Ohio.
Yep.
We had no problem.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Not now.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
I would stand there and watch you.
I don't know.
You know my theory. My theory is God put my stomach where He did. For a reason. He did not intend for my stomach to be in my throat or in my mouth. So I have no cause for it to be moved.
But you've never had a desire to go on a roller coaster. So here's the spiritual principle.
My father messed me up with that many years ago.
I know. So if we were calling this a spiritual principle here, do you see what I'm saying? It would never.
I was hoping there was a point to all this.
Yes. Well, it would never even to say to Jeff Duffield, you're going to have to let go of riding roller coasters.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. It'd be like, oh man, I'm in. Hallelujah.
Got it covered.
But if you've got someone who just loves roller coasters and has to let it go, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the spiritual principle there?
Yeah.
It's hard to let go.
Sure.
It's hard to let go of something you love.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but what's that got to do with the price of eggs?
I know. Yeah. And I had to let go of climbing lighthouses too. Oh,
well, you don't have to let go of it, but
I did.
You just didn't like sweating and being stressed out.
No, I climbed and scaled with my friend and her boys and David and Annie, the Cape May Lighthouse. I was climbing that thing. Such a wonderful day. And I thought, I can't wait to get to the top of this lighthouse and see the peninsula, and get up there. And I got up there and walked outside of that perimeter. And I thought, dear God, I'm not going to make it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there was all kinds of Tweety birds flying around my head. There weren't really, but they were there. and my balance got off, and I thought, I'm going to faint. And I know. My kids were laughing at me.
Yeah, I know.
Mom, what is wrong with you?
Until your son realized that you weren't playing around.
No, then he got serious, and then he called. I mean, he was only like 8 years old. He called the staff, and they They had to walk me down. Here's how they walked me down the stairs. Are you ready for this?
With your eyes closed.
With my eyes closed, they blindfolded me so I
Yeah.
couldn't see.
Yeah.
Boy, is that a spiritual principle, too.
I wanted to get you down without having you freak out and start thrashing.
Don't be distracted by your circumstances when you got to let something go. Just,
That's true.
you know, it's a truth.
That's true.
Oh,
You
my.
just have to focus directly
I know.
ahead, don't you?
Directly ahead. Well, here's another one.
Okay.
And I thought of you in this
Oh,
one.
boy.
Okay. And you're going to laugh when I say this.
Okay.
You and I both have had to let go of climbing ladders.
Yeah.
We haven't had any episodes, but
No, and I don't intend to.
because we're proactive,
Right.
and we learn from our friends.
Well, now we must, yeah, right. And let me just make this quick statement, then you can go on with where you're headed. I exactly didn't get Ladder or Climber of the Year award when I was younger.
I'm talking, the real,
either.
not step ladders, but
I
you know.
know. Yeah, extension ladders and all that kind of good
But
stuff.
I mean, we have had friends that have fallen. I mean, in their
Yes.
60s, they're climbing ladders,
Yes.
thinking they can do like they used to do when they were
Yes.
30.
Yes, well,
and the
yes.
stubbornness in some of these people.
And a couple of people that I won't mention.
We won't
any
mention their names, but
Dale Jensen.
Dale Jensen.
yeah.
Didn't Jonathan Willie? Didn't he fall off
I
a ladder?
was not. Yes, Jonathan did.
Oh my
but
goodness!
he was in Holy Pursuits or
Was
something
he,
like that.
yeah,
I don't
was
know.
he rescuing someone?
No, I'll give Jonathan. I will give credit for it because Jonathan said I knew better.
Oh, he did, but he did it anyway.
He did because he wanted to get something
Oh,
done. I
but
forget what it was,
see?
what he was doing, but he said I knew better and I did it anyway.
yeah.
Other friends of mine, I don't
Yeah.
know that they knew better. I think there was a
No.
little bit of macho there that said, "I can still do this."
Macho
Yeah.
man.
And
Yeah.
I've learned in other things that I've had to let
Yeah.
go. One of the things you're talking about that I've let go, and hopefully we'll get back to whatever you were talking about.
No, that's fine. This is good.
Letting go it's a minor thing, but I had to let go.
This whole show is minor.
No, for me to letting go. This is in the scheme of life is not a
Okay.
big deal, but I had to let go of playing softball.
Oh, don't even. I didn't have that one written down, but that's.
Yeah, it's a
just the
minor
whole-
thing. There's much more important things in the
I
world.
know, but you can still hit a ball. You just can't run.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. No. My mind tells me I can run.
Oh, you.
Oh yeah. Right now, my mind says, "Get up." Go
Get up,
downstairs
you
and
lazy
run around
bum.
the block.
Yeah.
You can do. Yeah, and like the speed that you will verify that I used to run fairly fast for my size.
Listen, I will tell everybody in podcast land that seriously, this man, if he didn't play the piano, you would have been a great either a tight end or a running back on a football field.
Wasn't tall enough for tight
Yeah,
end,
you
but I
weren't
could have
tall
been. I could have been running back.
Yeah, because you're low center
Loaded,
of gravity.
low center of gravity,
low to
elusive.
the ground.
I could juke and jive and all
and you
that kind
were.
of good.
I used to watch you.
especially for a white boy. I could do pretty good with that.
It was
And
pretty.
it was a fear. It was a fear factor too. When somebody grabbing me, I could motivate myself to
I
move
know.
quite quickly. When
It is funny.
But yeah, my brain says, yeah, you can still do that, and then I get up and try to, and other parts of my body say, no, you can't.
So the maturity part of us is saying
Staying off of
every
ladders.
single day.
We had to give up ladders.
But I don't remember ever having to have this war with myself like I had in the last couple of years, where I constantly have to talk to myself and say, in a day you would be able to do that, but now you better not, and just let it go.
Yep. Because
Even
things
to-
change.
Right. Even as you're going to laugh at this, even around the block here, there's a little gate that allows you to go outside of our gated community here. And so when I walk around the gate and don't want to go through the gate, there's a gap. And you can make this jump to go around. So I'm walking and I'm thinking,
You didn't do that, did
well,
you?
yeah, I did, but you know what? Part of me said while I was in the air, this isn't going to end well.
That's usually when you think that. Unfortunately, at that point, it's too late
It's
to change
too
your
late.
decision.
And it's too late,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Now it's I jump and I had great form. And
you
it's only
probably even stuck the landing, but it wasn't a very pleasant
No,
landing.
I did stick the landing, but it was the roll after the landing.
Yeah.
And then the quick getting up and looking around to see if anybody watched you.
I can't imagine that. And this is the first time I'm hearing of this. So
I know.
you finally
Well,
worked up the nerve
I don't tell
to
you
share
every
this.
time I fall
I
because
know.
you think I fall all the time.
I know. I just think you fall when you're not watching where you're going.
So this looks like we're going to have to go to episode, to continuation for next week.
Boy.
Because it's just, I've got tons of stuff that we
Okay.
have to let go of.
All right,
However,
we'll let go of this podcast.
before we let go of this podcast.
This particular episode, I should say.
This
We'll
particular
let go of this one.
Yeah. Letting go, you and I, and like I say, being married for as long as we've been, not only that, we've also been, comrades in the recording industry. And of course, over the years, we've had to let go of ancient technology.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. We
And
were
that's-
talking about it yesterday.
Right. And that's the one thing that I think I love so much about you, honey, is that you're not stuck in 1980s technology.
Well, I'm one of those ones. I like new stuff.
Right.
You know, I
Yeah.
always, whatever it is, I like new cars. I like new clothes. I like new
Yeah.
houses.
You like Nehru jackets.
Well, I had one. One.
You know,
When
they're
I was
coming
like
back.
14.
They're coming back.
Okay.
Should I go look for one?
No, don't go out today. No, we've got other things to do. It'll keep, as they say. Well, I like new things. I don't mind old things if they work, but I like new things. So I've always, as you well know, always been intrigued by technology. So I like new technology. Yeah. And there's we were discussing that analog tape that we used to record. The whole recording industry was built on that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I did many hundreds of hours.
There would be so many things that you could not do versus what you're able to do now.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into the minutia of all the things we used to do in recording studios that tried to do, could not do it because analog tape would not allow us.
No.
And then along comes computers, and I have several friends of mine who balked, resisted,
Oh,
fought.
they didn't want anything to do with it.
No, I don't want to mention any names, Robbie Meadows, that just did not want anything to do with computers. And once I discovered it and learned about the technology that was available with computers and what you could do, there was a whole list of things that I could never do, and always said, man, it'd be nice if I could do that. All of a sudden, I could do it with a computer. So I jumped into it.
So letting go of
But
old
I had
technology.
to let go of analog
Yeah.
technology to do that. Yes.
Yes. Letting go of old provides a way for you to welcome the new.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So in our closure here.
Yes.
All right. The song Let It Go from Disney was just, it just is amazing. It's an amazing song. Elsa, when she's singing it. And of course, we haven't had grandchildren soon enough to enjoy that yet. But I have friends of mine that says, you wait till you have a granddaughter.
I'm confident in the Disney Corporation that they'll come up with something for our grandchildren when they reach the age.
This is going to go on, though. It's just funny because I don't think Disney's ever going to let this go. You know what I'm saying? They've had such great success
way
over it.
too profitable for them to
Right.
let this go.
But truly, though, I think personally the popularity of the song Let It Go in Frozen, it just demonstrates truly that there is a general need in our culture to let go of some things. And we've talked about that, using the opportunity to let go sometimes of relationships that are toxic.
Yep.
Let go of things that are holding you back.
I'll give you another one, and
Okay.
and it'll be quick.
All right, hurry. We're running out of time.
I've got my
I'm
eye
just
on the
teasing.
sparrow and also
Let it
on
go,
the clock.
buddy. Let it go.
Yes. And when we were a few years ago, we were a trio, and the illustrious, as we used to call her, Divine Miss M, Wendy Miller, sang with us for
Right.
13 years.
Right.
And it's it's nothing personal against Wendy whatsoever. Things changed in her situation, in her life, and she had to move on as
she
well.
had to move on,
She had to let go, and so did we. I enjoyed the singing part of the musical part of it, when the three of us singing together. I enjoyed. I've always been a fan of 3 and 4 and whatever part harmony. So I had to let that go, and it was not necessarily a fun thing, but. In letting that go, it brought on new opportunities and new directions for you
Right.
And for me, moving to Nashville 11 years ago,
Right.
we had to let go. I really, per se, didn't want to uproot myself at 54 years of age and move from,
Yeah.
New Jersey, Delaware area to the state of Tennessee. And
Right.
I liked it down here. I loved it down here, but I didn't want to. But by letting go of that, we moved
It's
down
provided
here.
new
It's opened up
opportunities,
new
yeah.
opportunities, and
Right.
there's things I've been able to do, you've been able to do, that we would have never been able to do
I
if
know.
we'd stayed.
And we're still
in the
learning, though.
Northeast.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
I'm still-
So it's all good.
And next week's broadcast, we're going to talk more intimately about really some things that we've had to let go that we've named. And whatever you name, according to Scripture, it says you give power to. And I have learned that I have to let go of things that are, just not benefiting me and not benefiting my family and not benefiting anything that I do, even in ministry, and move on.
Yep.
And so if we could just end it, there's a couple of things. And like I say, tune in next week. We've got we're going to carry this on. There's 5 ways of letting go that will lead to a more fulfilling and joy and peace-filled life. And I really believe that. And I'm going to give them 2 now, and then we'll continue next week. But one of the things that Jeff and I have learned, we've gained confidence. That was one thing. I'm telling you, when you let go of things, that you hide behind, you'll see how much your worth really is. And it's not about your looks. It's not about possessions. It's not about pride. Well, maybe it is about pride, I should say. And so we had to let go and say, okay, it's about who you are, your beliefs, and how you treat people, and how God sees you. And I know that's very common to hear, but how God sees you is something that you have to be able to say, I let go of what I see in the mirror and what God sees in me. And then number 2, we have gained amazing health physically by letting go of stress.
Yep.
And we're going to continue with this next week. Thank you for tuning into the Subiquitous Podcast, episode number 18. I can't believe it. Let it go. Join us every week at Tuesday on a Tuesday broadcast.
And now we're going to let this podcast go.
We're going to let it go.
There you go.
And don't forget to get on SueDuffield.com. You can also become a patron with patreon.com/SueDuffield. There's many ways that you can help support this ministry worldwide. We love you so much. We'll see you next week.